otherwise known as an act granting Philippine citizenship to Mr. Justin Brownlee, be adopted as my sponsorship speech for the aforementioned House bill. But also, Madam Chair, I would like to still give my opening speech, though.
Please proceed, Kong Mikey.
Yes. So, good morning again, Madam Chair. It is my distinct honor and privilege to sponsor House Bill number 825, otherwise known as an act granting Philippine citizenship to Mr. Justin Brownlee. Mr. Brownlee, who stands tall as a 6'6" giant, was born on April 23rd, 1988, and has been a permanent fixture in the Philippine Basketball Association and a fan favorite of Filipinos since 2016. On both 2016 and 2017 season, he aided the Barangay Ginebra San Miguel basketball team to secure the PBA Governor Cup titles. He also aided the San Miguel Alab Pilipinas to secure the 2017-2018 season championship of the ASEAN Basketball League. Furthermore, on the 2018 PBA Commissioner's Cup, he won the first Best Import Award and aided the Barangay Ginebra San Miguel basketball team to secure more championships. Moreover, and for the 2019 Governor's Cup of the PBA, he then aided again the Ginebra San Miguel to secure another championship. So he has been a permanent fixture in Philippine basketball and has won so many championships in the PBA, as well as he has consistently become one of the favorite imports in Philippine basketball. Throughout Mr. Brownlee's very decorated and illustrious career in the PBA, he was able to attain 5 PBA championships and 2 Best Import Awards with a career average of almost 29 points per game, 12 rebounds per game, 6 assists per game, about 2 steals and 2 blocks per game. So clearly, it shows that Mr. Brownlee can really aid our pursuit for our first basketball championships, world championships. He is also the first PBA import to record 400 plus three points made, and ranked first among the PBA import for 3 points made with 404 as of July 24, 2022. Lastly, he ranks as 5th in all-time PBA import scoring leaders with almost 4,600 points as of April 2022. Truthfully, Mr. Brownlee has brought enormous pride and joy to all Filipino basketball fans through his hard work in the PBA. On his part, and since 2018, Mr. Brownlee has been consistent with his desire to make our country his permanent home, and is very much willing and able to represent the Philippines in the international basketball scene as a member of our very own Gilas Pilipinas men's basketball team. Today, Madam Chair and my distinguished colleagues, we have this distinct opportunity of providing our Gilas Pilipinas men's basketball team with a truly dependable ally in their quest to proudly represent our country in the upcoming February 2023 sixth and final window of the FIBA World Cup Asian qualifiers, which will be hosted by our very own country, the Philippines, and the FIBA World Cup 2023 in the person of Mr. Justin Brownlee. For these reasons, I implore the aid of my distinguished colleagues for the swift passage of this measure. Madam Chair, thank you very much.
Thank you, Congressman Mikey Romero. Before we continue, I'd like to recognize our Vice Chair member member Congressman PD Barsaga, and on Zoom we have Congresswoman Divina Grace Yu and Congresswoman Rachel Arenas. So now we would like to recognize the resource persons to give their comments. First, the DOJ. Do we have a representative from the Department of Justice? Yes, please identify yourself and sige po.
Good morning, Madam Chairperson and the members of this Honorable Committee on Justice. I am State Counsel Melvin Suarez, representative for the Department of Justice. Will I be presenting my position paper for the department, ma'am?
Yes, you can state the position of department briefly. We already received the written position papers, but please go ahead. And
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. So the Department of Justice, in a letter dated 24 October 2022, signed by the Honorable Secretary, Undersecretary Raul Vasquez for the Secretary of Justice, manifested that the present bill granting Filipino citizenship to Mr. Justin Brownlee is indeed an exercise of legislative power, which is the authority vested under the Constitution in the Congress of the Philippines to enact laws subject to its internal rules, such as granting Philippine citizenship to deserving foreigners who have embraced the Filipino culture, as well as those who have embodied the Filipino values of perseverance, determination, and dedication to their craft. It appearing, Madam Chairperson, that Mr. Brownlee has no derogatory record on file with the National Prosecution Service of the Department of Justice. We submit that it is within the power of Congress to enact the subject bill into law that will bestow on Mr. Brownlee Philippine citizenship. As recognized in our jurisdiction, one of the ways to become a Philippine citizen by naturalization is through legislative naturalization, which is in the form of law enacted by Congress bestowing Philippine citizenship to an alien. Thank you, Madam Chairperson.
Thank you. Now from the DFA, do we have a representative from the DFA? Please identify yourself.
Good morning po, members of the honorable members of the committee, fellow colleagues in government, Mr. Brownlee. As for the DM, Assistant Director of 19 Pangmi, the Office of Consular Affairs, Passport Division, representing the DFA. The DFA actually has no position paper in this, except that both the passport records and the visa records of the department show no derogatory record of Mr. Brownlee, and hence we have no objection to the passage of the bill or the law, eventual law. Thank you.
Thank you. Before we proceed, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Congressman Raul Angelo Bongalon and Congressman Vice Chair Keith Flores, Jonathan Keith Flores. So now we'll proceed to the position of OSG. Is there a representative from the OSG?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Yes.
My name is Senior State Solicitor Fenicar A. Tabao. We have submitted to the committee certifications issued by the Special Committee on Naturalization and the DMS from the OSG stating that no petitions for naturalization were filed either judicially or administratively. Hence, the OSG poses no objection to the passing of the bill. Thank you.
Thank you. From the Bureau of Immigration.
Good morning, Madam Chair and the members of the committee. Attorney Shirley May Kalingasan from the Bureau of Immigration. On October 28, 2022, we likewise submitted our position paper, and we also attached a certification that the name Justin Brownlee, born on 23 April 1988, does not appear in the Bureau's whole departure, blacklist, watch list, alert list, and lookout bulletin records as of October 19, 2022. Thus, we interpose no objection to the granting of Philippine citizenship of Mr. Justin Donta Brown. That is all, Your Honor.
Thank you. And lastly, from the NBI,
Good morning, Madam Chair. I'm Head Agent Ludovico Tilara, Chief of NBI Counterintelligence Division. The NBI already submitted a position paper to the Secretariat, and considering that Mr. Justin Donta Brownlee has no derogatory record with our files, and he already secured NBI clearance. The NBI interposed no objection to the petition for naturalization, but the NBI in the position paper recommends recommends something on the following issues for consideration. First, the bill is surprisingly silent as to the condition of the naturalization. As such, it is therefore recommended that certain conditions be imposed, such as but not limited to the following. Letter A, revocation of the privilege of naturalization in case of any of them commit crimes involving moral turpitude, observe immoral indecent conduct, close in parentheses, polygamy, or adhere to the ideologies which support violence, force, or threats as a means to achieve its agenda. Second, they must continue to be a person of good moral character and adhere to the laws of the land and our Constitution. And finally, they should show and exert genuine efforts, interest in embracing and desiring to learn the customs, traditions, cultures, and ideals of the Filipino. That's all, Madam Chair.
okay, the position of the NBI is noted. Having heard the comments from the resource persons, we now recognize the applicant, Mr. Justin Donta Brownlee, to give his remarks.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. Just want to become a citizen, help out, the national team. I've had a lot of love from the fans and the people here. It just seems like it would be great, to be a part of the country, and just keep helping out as much as I can with the national team. And hopefully I can just be an inspiration to people and kids, and help to better basketball here, and to do whatever I can to just be better and a good citizen here.
Thank you. Are there any members who would like to ask questions? I'm sorry, before we proceed, I'd like to recognize Congressman Celso Regencia. Are there any members who would like to ask questions? DS? No. Comments? Yes. Questions or comments from the members? Deputy Speaker Puno.
Yes, thank you very much, Madam Chairman. Just as a backgrounder to my colleagues here, I see a lot of the young and new ones who are probably not familiar with the naturalization. This is actually our fourth naturalization. We have naturalized Marcos Douthit, Andre Blatch, and then Ange Kwame. And in each of those naturalizations, yours truly has been the author of the bill. PD Barsaga was also a co-author in several of those bills. At the onset of the 21st century, international basketball has changed. About 2007 was the first time that we when there was a new rule in FIBA, which defined the national team as such: 11 natural-born players and 1 naturalized player. That's the definition of a national team according to FIBA now. And then several things have happened since. Many other national teams have gotten a pool of basketball players to play as their naturalized player, not just one. in case of injury, in case of matching up players for a certain tournament was necessary. Lebanon has 8 naturalized players. Jordan has 5. Iraq has 2. Syria has 2. Qatar has 4. Korea has 5. Japan has 4. Indonesia has 3. It's time for us to pony up because the international basketball game has changed, and now it is not just a matter of basketball players trying to throw a ball through a hoop. It is now an issue of player management and player development. And we need to have a pool of naturalized players from whom we can choose. The teams that are competing in the new format of home and away qualifiers results in several teams having to be put up. A pool of a lot of players, even naturalized, natural born players, have to be put together. So note that Ange Kwame is now our naturalized player. He's the age of 23, 24 years old. So he's a young naturalized player who plays a center position. Justin Brownlee is a veteran player who will play a guard position. And we need additional players so that we can match up with the other players, so other teams. So I would like to please throw my hat into the ring and please request my colleagues in the House to please support this bill. Mikey Romero, PhD. Thank you.
Yes, Puno. Any other members like to ask questions or have any comments?
Madam Chair.
Yes, Kong Mikey.
Madam Chair, I just want to add in my sponsorship speech earlier that Justin Brownlee should be differentiated from all others because Justin Brownlee volunteered to become a Filipino naturalized player or to become a naturalized citizen of this country. So he actually volunteered, and that means a lot for us Filipinos because baliktad tayo gusto natin, our maraming kababayan natin gusto maging citizens of another country, and here's one of the best foreign players that the PBA had, and he's embracing to become a Filipino citizen. So that differentiates him because he volunteered by himself, and we thank him for volunteering. And we are not deaf, and katulad ko, I sponsored this because I heard it from himself, and that's why I want to thank you. This is my way of thanking him for. And I know he would become a great asset, not just for our country, but also as a Filipino citizen. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Kong Mikey. Kong Bongalon, you would like to say something?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, this is just a manifestation of support, to the petition for naturalization. And I would like to state, for the information of everyone, that Mr. Justin Brownlee has been playing in the Philippines since 2016, and he is the import of the Barangay Ginebra Gym Kings. And for 6 years, he continued to play and show his talents in basketball as an import. And now, this representation believes, and I am very confident that Mr. Justin Brownlee is a key addition to the players for the Gilas team Philippines, especially that we will be hosting FIBA next year. So this is just a manifestation of support, Madam Chair. And I also encourage other colleagues to support and grant Philippine citizenship to Mr. Justin Brownlee. That's all, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Vice Chair Flores.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I just like to ask the applicant, other than basketball, other than playing basketball with Filipinos, what is one thing that he likes about the Philippines?
Oh, sorry. Being from the U.S., I feel like it's a lot of division, like it's divided. When I came here, people embrace me. Yeah, I know. I play basketball, but just seeing how people come together. I go around sometime. I have a scooter, so I go around sometime just to visit certain places. It could be Mandaluyong, mostly Pasig and some of the areas. But just seeing how the people are together, maybe not as fortunate as others, but they just seem like they just have so much fun and a lot of happiness just being around each other, whether it's family, friends. They didn't have much, but when I go around, they just seem so happy. And me personally, I like to see that type of stuff and just going around seeing how the people, interact. And like I said, maybe not as fortunate or have much, but with their happiness, it seemed like, they have everything. So I really appreciated that when I seen it, and that drew me definitely closer to the people outside of basketball.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank
Chairman,
you.
just one-
Yes,
just one.
yes po. Kong Atchar.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Brownlee, I'm an avid fan of yours and a fan of Ginebra since 1980s.
Thank you.
So I just like to know that your addition to being a naturalized Filipino is really a good and welcome development to Philippine basketball sports. But then I'd like you to make a pledge before us, before the committee members, and before the Filipino people that you will not in any way engage in no means here or abroad to engage in violence during basketball games here or abroad.
Okay,
Can you take a pledge before us?
I pledge that I will not participate in any violence in basketball, any games or outside it as well.
Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Thank you, Congressman Acharon. Are there any other members who would like to say something?
Well, Madam Chair, it seems that no other member wants to interpolate or ask anything from the applicant Justin Brownlee. And therefore, I most respectfully move for the approval of House Bill number 825 entitled An Act Granting Philippine Citizenship to Mr. Justin Donta Brownlee.
I
And
second.
the committee report.
Second, Madam Chair.
There's a motion to approve House Bill number 825 as well as the committee report. And there being no objections, House Bill number 825 is hereby approved by the Committee on Justice.
Madam Chair. Madam Chair.
Yes, DS.
I would also like to move that all members who are present here today, as well as online, be included as co-authors of the bill of the Honorable Mikey Romero. Thank you.
Second.
So moved.
Comsec, can you please?
Second. Madam Chair.
The motion is hereby approved since there are no objections. Are there any other matters which any member wishes to discuss before we adjourn and reconvene for part 2? Yes, Mr.
Just want to say, maraming salamat po.
Oh. So, are there any other matters that our members would like to discuss before we adjourn and reconvene for part 2 of our agenda? If there are none, part 1 of the meeting of the Committee on Justice is hereby adjourned. And the resource persons for part 1 are excused unless they will also be resource persons for part 2. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
The joint meeting will start in a few minutes. Kindly, may I request everyone to take their seats. Thank you.